Okay, so we've looked at what is wrong with just having a job. And we've also explored about when you have a job, what you're actually paid to do in reality. You're paid for your time. Now we've sort of beaten this a little bit to death, so we're going to move on now. So we're going to move on to what actually could we get paid for, or how can we get paid. And when we understand this, we start to have a totally different paradigm about how we approach money, time, and work. So let's have a look. First of all, we have the employee. That is basically the majority of the world that actually has an income. You have a job. Most of you probably watching this will maybe be in this situation where you have a job. Your money is based on your position. So in other words, if you're a manager, you get more money than the guy who just stacks the shelves. And it's not the person. Your money is not based on you as an individual. It's based on your position. You get paid for your time and effort. If you don't go to work, you don't get any money. That's the bottom line. You are paid to be there at probably 8 o'clock in the morning and to be there until you leave at the end of the day and get the job done. You have no control over your time. Basically, your boss says you have to be here at 8 and you can leave at 6 or whatever it is. And you have no control over your money, as we've looked at before. If you're lucky enough to get in a position where you can get overtime pay, it's often that you're on very little pay in the first place. And if you're on a job that is skilled, you may be on quite a lot of money, but still you're capped at some point. So that's the employee. We've looked quite a lot at that situation already anyway. The second one, of course, is the self-employed. You own a job. So you're dentist, lawyer, hairdresser, whatever it is. So you own that job. You work for yourself, but can you take 6 weeks holiday and your business keeps going without you? I would suspect the majority of self-employed would say, no, they can't. So you say you own a job, maybe really that job owns you at some level. You have limited control of your time and you have limited control ultimately of your money. Think about it, if you're a hairdresser and you're ill, then you don't get paid. The same with being a dentist or a lawyer or a doctor. Basically, your time, your money is from your time, as we've looked at quite a lot already. The second half of the quadrant is the business owner. This is where you own a system and people work for you. So you're not a small business owner, you're the big business owner. You're the person who has a whole system going on and people work for you to generate money for you. And that's obviously better to an extent. But you have unlimited income potentially, but still it takes lots of time. Your time is still controlled. You work for yourself, but like the self-employed, can you take 6 weeks holiday? You have limited control of time, but you do have more control of money. So you can see that this is starting to get a lot better. Now the last one is the one we want to be in ultimately, with the cheesy fireworks. This is the investor. Now I should point out, don't get confused with investing as in stocks and shares. This is talking about investor in a wider sense of the word. So this is where ultimately your money is working for you. And you remember in a previous video we talked about this idea of having lots of little dollars or euros or pounds, whatever your currency, that basically reproduce themselves. They work for you. They're like little mini employees that are just in existence to generate more money for you. And here we enjoy complete freedom and live our dreams. These people have money working hard for them. They understand money, they're money wise. They have control of time and they have control of their money. We're going to look at this a little bit further now, but I'd like you just to maybe go back over this video or just look at this quadrant and think about where you are and where you want to be and why you are where you are and why do you want to be in that new place. When we understand this matrix more, we can start to ask, where am I in this quadrant? Where am I? Am I the employed, the self-employed, the business, or the investor? And then we can also start to get a sense of what direction we want to go in. The problem is, this is what often happens. We are employed in a 9-to-5 job, and we have this desire to become self-employed. Oh, if only I could open a cafe. If only I could become self-employed hairdresser. If only I could start this business, that business. And then when we're in a self-employed situation and we start to get people working for us, we start to build a bigger business, we then go here. And then we then start to look at how I can become an investor. How can I have money start to work for me? But this journey is a very long journey and can take a lot of years, a lot of stress, and a lot of headaches. So instead, we have to think, am I the employed, the self-employed, or the business? And then, if we're employed, we can start to look at how do I become an investor. If we're self-employed, the same, and if I'm a business, the same. Rather than going from one to the other, we can go straight to the investor and start to find that dream, that freedom that we want.